I'm still going. So I go 10 more years in Bend, Oregon, 10 or 11, and selling 2.5 choppers a day, building 2.5 choppers off the assembly line a day, BMC. So
sick.
They went under, and I just kept going because I feel I was real. I was really a chopper life manufacturer. I manufactured. I never said I built one-off choppers, which I did for myself, but I was a manufactured motorcycle builder.
Welcome to the One Gang Worldwide podcast, your ultimate ride into the world of motorcycles. Visit cyclesworldwide.com, where we offer a completely free marketplace for everything motorcycles. Join our One Gang community where you can connect, share info, and swap stories with riders from all over the world. Join for free at cyclesworldwide.com and be a part of the One Gang community right now.
Today on One Gang, we're sitting down with a man who helped shape one of the most explosive periods in modern motorcycle culture. Mike Rouse, better known to many riders as Big Mike, the founder of BMC, Big Mike's Choppers, during the custom motorcycle boom of the late 90s and early 2000s, when choppers were dominating magazines, televisions, and bike shows across the country. Mike and his team were right in the middle of it, building radical customs machines and pushing the limits to what custom motorcycles could be. BMC gained national attention through television appearances like Discovery Channel's Biker Build-Off, and through the unique motorcycles that carried Mike's signature and attention to detail, bold designs, and handcrafted approach to building bikes. But behind every motorcycle company is much bigger story. The long nights in the shop, the risk of running businesses in a rapidly changing industry, and the reality that comes when trends shift and markets evolve. Today we're sitting down and going to take a ride through Mike's journey from the early days of building bikes to the rise of BMC during the custom chopper boom, the challenges that came with running a motorcycle company, and how he sees the industry today as the culture continues to evolve. Mike, we're huge fans, brother. Welcome to the One Gang. I've been waiting for this show for a very long time, so thank you so much for opening up, man, your time to us.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me today. It's going to be a good journey.
For sure.
Mike, thanks for joining us. I got to ambush and expose you a little bit so our listeners understand the kind of man you are. Before we started recording, you said you'd be happy, somebody walks up to you and asks for an autograph on their hat, and you would tell them you'd be happy to ruin their hat for them.
That was in the air. After all the TV stuff, the magazines were great. Don't get me wrong. Back in the day, you'd have to say, hey, go to my website. There was no social media, but I'm in the TSA line. What's funny is they still want to check my ID after they recognize me.
They say Big Mike.
So I'm going real quick. I'm going into Canada. Big Mike, saw your show, Two Wheel Tuesday. I said, hey, this guy's pretty. Can I see your ID? I said, but he didn't. In Canada, he just stamped it, and I went to the show. But
that's awesome.
It was fun, and I never took it for granted or thought I was something. I was just, I hit the right time in the right era. And
heck yeah,
for sure.
We're excited to have a conversation with you and get to know your story. And you're a genuine man, so we appreciate the time you're taking to spend with us today. So we'll start with. No, go ahead, man.
Well, 32 years. So let's go. It's a long one.
Let's do it.
All right,
let's break the ice.
Let's break it. Let's get down.
We're friggin' doing it. It's 10 questions, rapid fire questions, rapid fire answers. We will rock and roll and go fast like you're comfortable doing. You ready to rock?
Yeah, I'll hit it.
All right. Hardtail or modern performance bike?
Hardtail.
Panhead, Shovelhead, or Evo?
I've had them all. I'm going to go with shovel.
Does that change from time to time?
No, I've had them all. I've had knuckle, pan, shovel. I just so true to that Shovelhead build and the generator motor. I did the SNS shovel tour, and I just fell in love with the sound of a shovel. But I do love panheads. Don't get me wrong. I've had plenty. I'm a shovel. I am a shovelhead. It's on me somewhere on these tattoos somewhere. There's a shovel.
All right, here's a good one. First bike you ever owned?
Ready? Are you ready?
Yep. Absolutely. You're a California kid, so it's got to be a dirt bike.
It was a Togo. I was 4 years old, and my family, the Italian side, has a ranch here in the area. And I was 4 years old, and they have a tote goat, and it's so weird. I could send you the picture someday, but that was my first motorcycle, a 1960 tote goat.
Nice.
So it was a farm type bike, but I rode from 4 years old on. I rode that every time I went to the ranch.
It looks like one of those like Coleman ones that you can buy.
Yeah.
From
Yeah. 1960 tote goat.
That's cool.
In fact,
it's the pull, right? The pull.
I still have it, and I'm going to deframe it and powder coat everything back to original here pretty quick.
That would be killer.
I have it. I still have it.
Dang, man.
That's fun.
And then
obviously what? I don't want to interrupt you.
Well, MR50 next, Honda. Sorry.
Okay.
Which is very rare nowadays too.
Similar topic. First bike you ever built yourself.
Okay. It was a Shovelhead. And the first bike I
Shovelhead.
ever built, we named it names, and you had your airbrusher put an iron horse on it, and I had tail dragger fenders, and I built it myself. And the very first motorcycle I ever built, I got the cover of Biker magazine.
How old were you at this point?
34.
34. Okay, cool.
That's Oh man.
You don't want to hear the sportsters I went through. Being a bigger kid, it was the worst. So yeah, first bike, Shovelhead, cover of Biker magazine.
Shovelhead.
Very first bike I ever built, I got the cover. So I thought this is a cool start. This might be a good thing in 93, 94. I didn't know how old I was. I don't know. I'm getting old.
That's nuts to land a cover on your first.
I feel you,
man.
brother.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, question 5. Your shop music playlist is stuck on one artist or band. Who are you hoping it is?
Well, that's a good one. God. Wow. One artist or band?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I would have to go with the Doobie Brothers from my
Nice.
Nice.
I wanted to
Good
see
call.
them. I'm sorry.
Great.
I wanted
man.
to see
Great.
Santana and the Doobie Brothers. I'm not trying to give them props, but no.
No. Let's
The
give
bass
them
players
props.
from the bass players from Santa Cruz, and as a kid, we had a lot of stuff at the Catalyst downtown Santa Cruz. All the bands would come through, and I really liked the Doobie Brothers, that one. Y&T is great though, but nobody knows them.
Of course. What do you mean nobody knows?
I know,
them?
but
us old metalheads know them. The rest of them don't know 'em.
you ask kids today, and they're like Y&T. Anyway, yesterday and today. But anyway, okay, next.
All right.
All right. Mount Rushmore of bike builders, not including you.
Your Mount Rushmore.
My 5 of them or
4.
4. Okay, well, Arlen Ness, Ron Sims. I'm a Bay Area.
Nice.
I grew up I can't go wrong there.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, you can't take anything away from Jesse James. We go way back. He's a dear friend of mine, and hey, what he does, and it's unbelievable. Indian Larry, and I really missed him on our SNS Shovelhead tour, but I really liked the styles he did, and Matt Hotch, because there's going to be a good story about Matt Hotch and me.
All right.
As kids or younger.
That's a great. That's
I mean,
a great list.
There's tons of them.
No, I know. I mean, you got guys that basically you've looked up to in your journey through this. And you know what? We've had multiple bike builders on the podcast over the last 2.5 years. And numero uno, the one that's mentioned all the time, is the king himself, is Ness.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's the first first name that comes out of everybody's mouth.
Yep.
When I went, anyway, they're great. Yeah, he was a great man, along with my other mentor, which we'll get into.
Mike, when's the last time you talked to Jesse?
Last week. We try to talk about, well, it's me calling him, but we break up a lot too. But
dude, he blew my mind. He popped up on something I was on, forging the new hobby he's got, building knives.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Building what? Knives?
Yeah, he's
Knives.
forging
Well,
knives.
yeah. We go back. It's a great story too for another day, but you can't take the guy's an incredible craftsman. I mean, there's nothing to say other than, he knows what he's doing.
Right.
We've had a great relationship for over 30 years, and it's
cool,
fun.
Man. It's cool to see him doing something new and maybe.
He's different with me though. It's like us three talking. He's my friend. We talk about kids and I don't even mention a bike,
Cool. Right on.
So,
all right. Question 7, biggest rear tire you ever ran on a build?
Okay. On one of my builds, it's going to be the 280. That's all I got up to. I didn't get into the 330 or the 360 like the Borgettes or something.
And that is why I always loved your build.
Yeah, so-
because I'm not a big tire guy.
Right.
Like 280 to 300 is the absolute. That's all you need.
Well,
I mean, like
240
that 280 was perfect.
Yeah, 240 on a rigid's actually really good. But I designed a bike with Aaron Green, another great friend, PCC, Paramount Custom, and that was my 280, but manufactured through his company for BMC. But I always liked 180 to 200. You can't go wrong on a rigid chopper and on a modern bike 1918 FXR dyno.
Yeah.
Once you start going over 300, it in my opinion kind of messes with the lines of the bike and dominates a little bit unless you really you have to kind of like work around it or consider it in the design. It's a little bit
I left that to Eddie Trotta, another dear friend, great guy.
That's killer.
Great
dude.
guy. Eddie's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should do like 3 or 4 episodes with you.
You should have a book writer with us so I could get my book done. Because they want me to do a book from this lifestyle.
But that's what's cool about what we do is because we kind of document the history of our guests.
Yeah.
And what's beautiful is maybe your grandkids one day, you know, just pop you up and just hear the story. So it's awesome. That's why we love doing this stuff, especially with guys like yourself, because, you know, our passion lies with you. And Ben and I both saw all the build-off series and saw you as a young pup coming up, you know what I mean? Cool. So it was cool to see, man. So not to be able to share the stage and just share some stories, man. I love it.
I love it.
All right, here's a fun one. If you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be? It could be anybody.
It can be anybody you want.
Oh, okay. Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek. I like Selma Hayek too.
Is that okay? I just watched this.
No, she's in my top 3 of the best looking you know, actresses.
She was in the was it From Dusk Till Dawn? Was that it?
Oh, just everything I watch about her. Even with Adam Sandler and that goofy one.
Yeah.
Parenting or something.
Yeah.
How about the one that she did with what's that kid, Matthew Perry, when he took this job? What the fuck was the name?
Desperado was best with Antonio. Is that it? Antonio Banderas?
Yeah, she's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
She's stunning.
I'm glad that came up because I like a lot of them, but she's beautiful.
Yeah, me too.
All right, 2 left in the speed round. Your own motorcycle favorite build of all time. And if it's too hard to name one, give us your top 3.
It's right here, so that's okay. So it's my original BMC that started the whole chopper craze. In 1996 is when I brought it out to Myrtle Beach, and I really looked into a chopper, and that's where the mail order chopper, meaning financiable and insurable. But my first BMC chopper I built,
That's killer. And for listeners, he's got a tattoo of it on his forearm. That's
okay.
Awesome. No, all good, man. We're going to have it on YouTube and stuff too, so people will check it out, but just some context. All right, last question in the speed round. One word that describes the chopper boom years to you.
Oh, friendships that I developed, and memories in the chopper boom. Like I said, I hate to say it, but I lived in the best era. I understand the 60s and 70s, but what we had when we got together at shows, we were all together. All the builders had the same thing. There wasn't this and that. And there was a couple people, but just meeting at Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Daytona, Sturgis. And it's not the same. And that
era changed.
Yeah.
That brought in so many more enthusiasts into the industry. It was absolutely unbelievable.
Right.
Which helped the heartbeat of this industry, you know, so which was cool. So, all right, brother, you got that. You went through the speed round.
Okay, good.
Now we're going to get in. Now we're getting into the journey.
Okay.
This is the fun part for us, man. So, let's kick it off in the beginning, Mike. Let's start where you grew up. What kind of kid were you back then? Before I know you jumped on a motorcycle at 4 years old,
right? But
what was some of your early interest also? Like, where'd you grow up, and what was some of your early interests?
Okay, I grew up in Santa Cruz, California, so it's a beach town. Early interest, obviously, football career, surfing. Me and my buddies, it's surf.
You have to surf.
So I always was into fixing up the bikes from a young age, from, spray painting a bike or fixing it. But then in 1993, 94, I got the opportunity to open a little shop. So as a young kid, came from a great family, loving mother, but I ran around a little goofy with some friends and didn't.
In Santa Cruz, man, you had a fun time. You know, back then it was.
I had a good time when there was no cameras. But
hey, let me ask you before you get into the shop side. You said you played some ball. Did you go to college and play ball too?
Yes, I played college.
Okay, take us a little bit into that.
Okay, all through Pee Wee football, I never could make weight because I was always a bigger kid.
How big are you? How tall are you?
305 in shape, but I did have a heart attack, and I don't know if we could touch on that, but I'm down to 250.
We can talk about anything.
But anyway, high school, I was 250, middle linebacker, running back.
God.
Nice.
So I went through that whole era due to anger, dad passing away when I was 10. So that kind of generated the weightlifting into this Big Mike character.
Yeah.
Because as a senior at 250, 6'1", and now I'm shrinking. I think I'm 6 foot now, but it happens. But so the football outlet gave me an outlet to get rid of anger, which turned into some other stuff in life. But all in all, it became a good outlet for that in the hitting aspect and getting to let that out and seeing a running back coming at me and turning around and going the other way because I'm coming after them. But I came after people with a vengeance due to not them or not life, just my dad,
So you said linebacker and running back?
I did it all. I didn't come off the field in high school.
So
undefeated for 2 years.
Dude, geez.
Nice.
250 as a running back in high school is
And
that's scary.
One of my best friends was the fullback blocking for me at the same weight. So it was pretty fun.
At the same weight. You guys are
my best one, and I'll do like a maybe Married with Children story. Who is it? Al Bundy?
Yeah.
Al Bundy.
Four touchdowns,
4 touchdown game,
260 something yards.
Gosh.
It was my best game.
Killer, man.
Yeah.
Killer.
That was actually kind of fast. 4.740.
At 250.
For that size, that's very fast.
So I had a great time in that. It matured me as a man going into college as a young kid, bigger, and seeing people that are better than you. I mean, and bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
But just preparing you for competition and, what's life.
Did you play D1, D2? What did you play?
I played D3. I wish I would have did better in school or walked onto the scab team when they my friend walked on the Niners and got a Super Bowl ring.
Man.
Who was it?
Sam Kennedy. He has a Super Bowl ring, and he went on the scab team, and they kept him from Santa Cruz.
That's killer.
Was that your fullback, buddy?
No, he was a tough. He was they kept him on special teams, and so that's a good story.
That is
great story.
Sam did it and got a Super Bowl ring with Joe and Jerry.
That's with Joe and Jerry. That's absolutely absurd. Jerry Rice, man, that team. I can't imagine getting to play with those guys.
Yeah, Joe Montana was incredible.
So, that was the football, surfing. I actually was lucky because I picked up on stuff easy. I became a good surfer. I became a really good football player. I'm not saying the best, but I was good. And
you were a good athlete. You were a good athlete.
Thank you.
For your size, you were a good athlete. You could move. You're agile. Get on a surfboard. Most guys that weight and that size, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. So I did all of that, and obviously did the little jobs with the family business, my brother's contractors, and then I said, this isn't me. This is my love for motorcycles became really strong when I needed to get one. So I searched, and my friends all here, take this Sportster. So wide glide on it, forward controls, rode it to an event, and that was it. I said, that bike is meant for somebody, but not me. So got home and built my Shovelhead, and that started the journey as far as I got the first cover ever for my bike. And I'm just like, wow. So I call up Mom. Hey, Mom, I'm doing okay. Can I borrow money? And she said, okay, one more time. And I said, okay, I need this much money. I got 1,000 square foot shop. Are you guys ready for this? This is where it gets good. I got 1,000 square foot shop. Well, at the time, Custom Chrome came in and said, hey, Mike, we're going to deliver a huge pile of parts, engines, frames. You build the bike. And I built them for 16.8. And it was when Harley had a 1-year wait and people were getting back their deposits. So I'm trying to set the stage. So I get a 1,000 square foot shop, 4 lifts in it. Custom Chrome backs up a semi with Tom Butler driving it. I'm not sure if you guys.
Wow. Wow. Are you kidding me?
So
he
Tom
was
Butler
driving it?
Plus, he also made sure I had the money ready. But anyway, I built a fat boy looking bike for 16.8 with more horsepower, paint, and the design with the customer. So I kicked that off. 6 months later, I have 30 orders, and I'm going,
wow.
And I'm probably 28 at the time. Yeah, 26 or 28. And
how many guys did you have working with you at that time?
Was it just you? I had three guys. Me acting like I'm working, and 2 that are actually working. I'm doing all that.
Actually working.
So the whole Silicon Valley came over, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? They want their money back and give it to me. So 88 cubic inch, 89 cubic inch back then was a little different. So they got more horsepower, better look, and a handmade bike instead of waiting a year. So I think Harley,
you're saying a lot of the customers that were coming through to you that were paying that kind of money were all the .comers back in the Silicon Valley area?
Oh yeah, I got flooded, which is going to lead to another story, but
all right.
Yeah,
so all right, we'll stay within the groove.
That did lead to them coming over, and I went from 49ers coming over to San Jose Sharks and doing their bikes, and I'm just like, I haven't even been in this a year yet, and I'm going, what is going on? And so everything's growing. I'm building the bikes. Custom Chrome and I are splitting the 16.8, and because that's their parts end of it, right?
Right.
And just tons of people coming over, and it was really.
And at that time, Custom Chrome was what drag is now. I mean, they were it, man.
Yeah, I had there's another great company with beautiful friends, awesome relationships.
Yeah.
That helped me along my journey to do that. Who drops off $50,000 worth of parts and says, hey, kid, get going.
That is crazy. So, Mike, at some point, building bikes turned into building a company. And we want to know how BMC actually began. Was it that part drop off? Was there some tipping point or turning point where you felt like, holy cow, I'm actually building something, building a business?
There was a lot of legal stuff going as far as EPA and stuff that we can talk about later, but I had to touch upon to make a qualified bike to sell in California and the 50 states. But yes, the biggest thing that said I need a company is when around $5 million came to me and said, let's go. And as 28 years old, I'm going, I could get some more toys. That's how I thought. I could buy a house.
What do you mean $5 million?
Well, invest into American Eagle, the next company I founded. American Eagle Motorcycles was mine too.
Gotcha.
So,
wow.
Okay. That was with the corporate stuff. That was with corporate money raising. I think we did 78 million in sales there. And before I moved on to take my BMC brand and say, I'm not wearing canary yellow shirts with a light blue logo and Dockers. It's not me. If you see me in pants, something happened. Shorts.
You're in shorts all the time?
But anyway, okay, back to that. So I said, man, this is great. Taking the money is good, but also a sin. Because then you have a lot of investors and people on a board and they can vote you off or vote this way, or yes, you need to wear this canary yellow shirt, long sleeve in Florida, and it's 100 degrees out. So yeah, that was a big stepping point. American Eagle Motorcycles next to Corbin there. That was my first building that I owned, 40,000 square feet. So I went from 1,000. I went from 1,000. Well, I went from 1,000. Then I moved over to another thing about 3,000. So 3,000 to 40,000 is what I went to in about 3 years. Yeah.
Your bike turns heads. Your gear should too. Milwaukee Motorcycle Clothing Company has classic leathers and bold new designs you won't find anywhere else. Shop top brands plus exclusive MMCC originals. Right now, our listeners get 20% off their entire order with promo code CW20. Visit MilwaukeeMotorcycleClothing.com today.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. So
You left the to do your own BMC.
yeah. So
Take us why. Give us why.
yeah. So the BMC. So I took the BMC to Myrtle Beach. I got, when I unveiled it in Easy Rider store there, the restaurant and stuff, I think I had 28 orders of the chopper ready to like come back, ready to go, $1,000 down. So then also, and Vinny was a good guy, the limousine guy, but he came out with the ground pounder and just not copying me, but did a rigid too. And then the rigid thing just went crazy. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? So when I brought the first BMC to Myrtle Beach, 28 orders, we thought, okay, this is good. So started building BMCs. It was my brand under my other company. And, you know, there's certain things you learn in taking on money. There's another end of it that's not good. Basically throw darts at the stock. That's supposed to make you millions and blue sky in the sky, you know, all that. Can I say?
Yeah. You want.
Things they blow smoke up your ass. But it was good and bad. It was good and bad. The bad is outweighs the good because it comes down to making a choice, which I did. In 1999, I said, I'm done with this. I'm not made to do what you guys want to do and go in that direction. I'm taking just my BMC line. That's mine, Big Mike Choppers. They agreed to that. I'm selling the building back to Mike Corbin. We did that because they went away after I left, which is a great story. I love it. So 99, I rolled up to Bend, Oregon. I said, I'm done with this corporate stuff. I'm going back to what I know. The basic roots of chopper building is where I based my whole involvement in this industry around. And this money came in as a kid. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I can afford that, and that, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I went back to the grassroots.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
I want to. You're a young kid. You get this offer of this humongous opportunity, right? So yeah, you got other people who are pulling the strings at this point in time. Beside how they wanted you to dress, obviously, it was more corporate style than it was being a motorcycle builder.
Right.
What were the negatives? Like, why did you decide like this isn't for me? Beside, like I said, the clothing, but like, right. I mean, most people have this opportunity. What were their demands from you at that point in time? Explain to us why that wasn't in your, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like why you said, screw this.
I headed up all the sales and there was always arguments, but they start undermining you, which is not good. And as a young person, I didn't have the right attitude to deal with that. I couldn't handle it with its emotions or me getting pissed off. So I was in charge of sales and marketing, and that's what I did. And then you have your president and vice president, which I was vice president. The guy that brought the money from the Silicon Valley made himself president. But it's the lies, you know, it's the lies of what they're going to promise you. And and I just lost my whole touch there. And I was just like a space of air in a big factory and getting undermined by these guys in my exit out. So I said, let's make it easy. I'll exit, no problem. Take my BMC. That's all I want to do. I don't give a shit about all your other motorcycles. Yeah, I developed them and designed them, but go ahead. You guys go. So I said, I'm going to Bend, Oregon. My family's up there. And what a weird place to live in the snow and ship bikes, but we did it. But anyway, took BMC 2 years later. They're out of business. Buildings for sale. Sell it back to Corbin. Win-win for me. And they're out of business. I couldn't believe they're out. They're out of business. I'm saying it.
Wow.
And I'm still going. So I go 10 more years in Bend, Oregon, 10 or 11, and selling 2.5 choppers a day. Building 2.5 choppers off the assembly line a day. BMC. So
sick.
They went under and I just kept going because I feel I was real. I was really a chopper life manufacturer. I manufactured. I never said I built one-off choppers, which I did for myself, but I was a manufactured motorcycle builder.
That's crazy.
So were you selling business to consumer, or were you selling also business to business
No.
and sending your bikes to other dealers?
Oh, every 43 stores in the U.S. Yeah.
Wow.
Easy Rider, Biker's Dream, independent ones, Arlen Ness,
That's insane.
everybody carried them because they were.
So
they were
how many employees at that point in time when you're doing 2.5 choppers
At
a
that
day?
time, I probably had 8 builders because that's all we needed.
Wow.
And I made sure when they rolled in their toolbox and wanted a job, I said, "You're not getting hired. I'm not housing this Mack truck toolbox that's as big as my building. You need a tray. When I built, you need a tray with your tools laid out, and I want one person in each cell. Because if you get a phone call or your kids calling, if it's 2 people, did the guy really tighten those brakes? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
on the
Good
rolling
point, good
bench,
point.
on the rolling cart, they were great. I bought them for them. They had all the tools needed to build a BMC chopper.
Man.
So,
Sweet.
but yeah, so I'm still in business. I'm still in business today, 32 years later. Like I said, I try to get out, but I'm grandfathered in. The world,
Hey.
and that's being a true person.
100%.
Customer service. I love customer service now. I always have, but I never been. When I fired everybody, I'm the forefront. It's me. I answer and send you your tracking number. Call me Sunday. If the 49ers aren't on, I'll answer the phone, But, so yeah, Bend, Oregon was the best move I ever made in 99. Had a family up there.
You still living up there, or are you in
I'm in
California?
Santa Cruz after.
Santa Cruz, back in Santa Cruz?
Yeah, a lot of these trial and tribulations in 2009 cause divorces and stuff.
Yeah.
It just happens. It's
Okay.
part of life.
Yep.
Yeah.
But 2 great kids. Unbelievable.
Excellent. Mike, at the end of the speed round, we touched on it briefly about the chopper boom and how crazy the late 90s and early 2000s were and what that scene looked like. Can you kind of give us your perspective and your description of what that was like, what that period was like from inside the industry?
Yeah. Yeah, it happened in 99, it started picking up. About 2001, it went crazy. And then with all these different, TV shows coming up, people, oh, screw that guy. No, love that guy. I'm going to the bank because of that guy's on TV. I'm going to the bank every day. Why am I mad at that guy? But, that's how it is. But that boom was absolutely crazy. When I needed to run my company at $1.5 million a month from where I started with $6,000 to the up there, $1.5 million, when a semi shows up, it's 90 motors. It's not 1 or 2 motors.
Right.
It's 90 trannies, 90 motors, 90 frames. So I'll get to that in a sec. But that boom, man, 03, 04, I didn't know. I was building 400 just of the Hooligan model, 400 of them. And that was a 240 tire. It was a 180, and I went to 240, 19,995, insurable in NATA and Kelly Blue Book. So that's
Was that your top selling model, the Hooligan?
Yeah, the 918 before was good with the 180. It's the same bike. We widened the frame to a 240. 400. I had to do them in black with my logo, the color. I had to stop doing flames because I couldn't do it because I always loved the flame paint job. But I just said they come in black, like Henry Ford said, right? They come in black.
Yeah.
And you pick a logo color on the rear fender. But yeah, that was nuts. And it evolved in just building my own frames, in-house frame building, CNC machines. So I would say probably 75 to 80% of a BMC chopper was built in my factory. I didn't tool up for motors and trannies. I had Bob Dice.
Right.
I had all these great guys, Steve Veltri. Why build a motor and a tranny? Sheldon Coleman can, but that name Coleman's pretty good. Great guy too. Yeah. When a guy buys a jet and buys a bigger jet and says, keeping the other jet, that's pretty good.
Hey, take us into the phone call from the biker build-off series. How did that all come about for you?
Okay, so Cole Foster, love him to death, gave me a great opportunity, but I didn't want to do bike. They were asking me to do biker build-off, and I said, no, I just don't do that. I'm not going to fake anything. But I said, hey, let me build 2, and let's auction them off to charity. And they didn't want to do that. Can you imagine that? I mean, I said, let's raise money for kids, people that are hungry. And we don't. Anyway, so I get a phone call from Cole Cole's great. If you've ever spent time with him or talked to him, he's definitely one of a kind. Love him to death. Hey, Mike, I got this chopper Discovery Biker build off, and we have 10 days. It wasn't 30 back then, I don't think.
It was 10. It was
10.
10 days.
And he's
build
like,
up, yep.
I don't have wheels or an engine. And I'm like, because I say engine because it really is. Motors are electric. Engine. I said, what do you mean you don't have an engine? I got 90 of them. And he's like, can you come down and help me? Because they're going to trash this series. And I'm like, what a great opportunity. Thank you. So I head on down in my Cadillac. I stage it all. Actually, I had my Cadillac shipped and I flew in. Put an SNS.
Well, what was it?
I did a DeVille, an airbagged 2000 DeVille, which was hard to do. So hard. And I used to like to do that stuff. I had so many cars.
You still have it?
No, I sold it. I think it went to Dubai. And with my lowrider.
Okay.
I had a lot of cars, actually, but we can touch on that later.
Cool.
So I get the phone call, and Mike, they're going to trash this. I can't let them trash it. Number one, it's great exposure for BMC. And number two, Cole Foster's an incredible friend of mine.
Absolutely.
So I ship everything down on my truck. I fly in San Jose, head over. Where's my Cadillac? Engine's in the back. Stay, it's you don't drive down there with the engine. You could, but at that time I was doing well enough to have stuff shipped and meet it there. But so yeah, they played it up right. Suspense. They don't want the bike to start. They want that thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, so, and one thing I go, I hope it starts so I can go home. But, so that was great. And I shipped down a lot of clothing. And then after Jesse delivered the paint, another great guy, all of a sudden you started seeing BMC, Cole wearing it, the guy from Denmark wearing it, Cole's Builders. And it kind of shifted into BMC, which is great because I brought down, several $1,000s to finish this build. But I brought down my guy that does 2.5 a day by himself.
Man.
Clayton built that
really
with Cole's team, and we finished it at midnight that day. That day, I showed up. So
that guy Clayton was building
2.5 a day by himself. But you understand that I was the type that when you start the bike, it's all there. When we did the Shovelhead, we started at 10 and we were done by 4:00 in the afternoon. But everything's there. It's the BMC. Every part is there. Clayton goes to town and it's done by 4:00. And it's on video to show the proof.
Insane.
But yeah, that was a good thing. I mean, there were some things I didn't like, but that's what it's about in that high, when it was that big magnitude of television.
Yeah.
I rolled with it, and certain people weren't going to get fed, and I fed them. People didn't get
Mike, anybody surprise you out of the guys you met, maybe builders that were part of the show? Did any of them surprise you that maybe you first originally thought they might be one way, but they kind of...
No, I get along with everybody because that's how...
Take us a little bit inside.
Yeah. So when we did the Discovery, Hank Young, it's weird when these builders weren't even around when I was around. A lot of them, say 80% weren't around. I mean, 50%. I didn't even know some of them. Mitch Bergeron, incredible guy, very nice. We had fun. Jesse Rook and I was, rest in peace.
Yeah, I know. Sad.
A lot of good times. He tied his license plate around his neck with a string, and it was beating him in the back. And I said, "You better pull over. Your whole back they're going to press charges on me because it looks like you've been beat up." But there's some good ones. Florida, Eddie Trotta was always a dear friend. Carried my motorcycles too. That was when we were at One Eye Jackson, or somewhere in Florida, and we're all together. There is no somebody we don't know, or they're all coming in. But a lot of these builders say, "Hey, Mike, it's nice to meet you. I've been watching your stuff for 30 years now, I didn't even know who they were, but now you know who they are due to television versus magazine." But Matt Hodge, great guy, and that's a great story that I want to tell you.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us the Hodge story.
I mean, Jesse and I go so far back, that's like a relationship. So I won't mention him because he is great. And Laughlin, we both met. There was just that connection of He had that orange bike, and he actually taped the bars with electrical tape. Looked pretty cool. Back in the day, we did that on our bicycles, right?
Right.
Right.
We're
that's
both
right.
at a gas station. He's in overalls. I think that's kind of funny. And we're kind of doing a standoff with each other because we know each other, but then became a great friendship. A lot of time in LA, a lot of parts he developed for me. But yeah, that went good. So Matt Hotch and I were sitting with Howard Kelly at Hot Bike, and it's 18 grand to run a full page ad back in the day.
18 grand in those days. Wow.
I did two things. Well, I gave bikes to him. So Matt Hotch and I go in the meeting, 18 grand full page every month, 18 for the year. How are we going to do this? Matt Hotch and I are laying on the lawn outside going, what? I mean, wow, this is new to us, this whole marketing magazine thing. That's all we had is the magazines back then.
Absolutely.
But so I said, I'll give him a motorcycle. It cost me about $13,800 to build, the one I sell for $19,000. It cost me about $13,800. I'll be ahead of it. So I give him the bike. My ad's done. Matt Hotch does either a half page or whatever could fit into what you can afford that time.
Yep.
So I got my thing done. They got the Big Daddy Softail. They're testing it. They're having fun. It gets stolen. Stolen at a
You shit. Where?
In Anaheim.
Wow.
It went down there and it was gone out of the garage. Kind of a compliment. At least they stole mine and nobody else's. So you know what you got to do? You got to replace the bike. And they owed me the ads either way, but I want the bike testing. I wanted Howard Kelly, which he always did. Don't just tell the good and everything. There's stuff that sucks on bikes. I don't care if it's whatever. So Howard was always really cool. Please tell the listeners or the readers, that this sucks. This part sucks. This bike's great. This part sucks on it. This part's good. This is uncomfortable. I didn't like the editors after that. Everything was good because they were giving the editor stuff to pile up in the garages. So we went through that whole year. I got more covers and press that I should have, but I had great relationships with Hot Bike and Street Chopper. So thank you, Howard. But so Matt Hotch and I set our journey in the advertising motorcycle industry. And when we'd have articles come out, I'd call my friends and say, hey, run to Barnes and Nobles and buy them all. So we would buy all the magazines that we came out in because it was new to us. I mean, we didn't know any in 2001, 2, 3, that all of a sudden these magazines are hitting. And Easy Rider did me really good. Scott McCool. Easy Rider had two versions, one not dressed and one dressed. V-Twin, I think, had clothes on. But yeah, Easy Rider, that was a good, fun ride back in the day. A lot of good times. I'm not sure if I'm off topic. There's so much right here that it's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I know.
Mike, for
the journey.
Yeah. But for the TV side of things, they over glamify everything.
And yes,
and
good. I'm glad you got back.
Yeah, that like gearheads want to actually see the process. They don't care about the son throwing a chair across the office, but I guess that brings the ratings in, which is
brings the ratings.
That was hard for me. That was hard for me to do in scripted stuff. Say this. I'm like, I'm not like that. I can't.
Tell us about the behind the scenes stuff, man. Like
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, when these guys put their 10 days in at 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm ordering pizzas. Cole's doing his hair because he has beautiful hair. He does have pretty good hair. That was a funny joke about who had the best hair in chopper building. But behind the scenes is basically for them. They don't really care about you. They don't care about the people that stayed up till 4 in the morning. So when I went on the road, I had my trailer as a support trailer because nobody had a trailer. So I brought my rig, made sure everybody was good. Something broke down, loaded up, and I want to help. So I got to the end of it, and it was like a duck, duck, goose. Who's going to eat? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you can eat. You can't. You can. And I'm like, this is a team that gave you guys TV series to air that you're going to make millions of dollars off of. And this guy can't have a buffet at the Indian casino.
Yeah.
So and one of them didn't have a room. That was funny. I loved the Norwegian guy because he would talk in his sleep in Norwegian. I'm trying to sleep going, well, who is this? But anyway, that you can't eat or who participated. Like I asked Hugh, I said, Hugh, you guys don't have enough money? I mean, because Discovery is Discovery, but they're their own production. Biker.
Absolutely.
Right. I said, you guys, what do you mean you can go around in a circle and you can't eat? So I'm really into eating back then and being the side. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of, not to rip on it. It gave me a lot of exposure coming in and building that bike with my friend. Gave me a ton of exposure to where you can't go through TSA lines or, your name being yelled out as you're walking to your gate. And I'm like, wow. But the bigger one for me was Speed Channel. And that was fun because that was Mike Corbin's channel that he paid for on Speed Channel, which was a great channel back in the day.
It was.
Chop It with Big Mike. So that was a real thing. I'm going to make Z-bars with my fabricator and show you how to make Z-bars. I'm going to show you how to widen a fender because we didn't have fenders back then. We had to cut a fender down the middle and widen it 1.5 inches or 2 to fit the 180 or 200 or whatever. So that was kind of like I remember the Two Guys garage where they would show people how to build cars and stuff. So that was the version of motorcycles, Chop It with Big Mike on Speed Channel.
Did you ever feel like the industry was growing too fast at that time? I know everybody was kind of happy. I mean, I know I'll speak from the audience side, right? I mean, I looked forward to that show, the Biker Build Off, the Speed Channel stuff that you were doing. All that stuff was so awesome because it really brought passion out to us to be able to live through what you guys were doing. But being inside the fire all the time, did you ever feel like this industry was growing too fast, like that whole chopper world?
Yeah, well, for me as a manufacturer, it was growing faster than I could control because then the bad comes eventually in what happens as a manufacturer, not a one-off bike builder that you're going to go get stamped at CHP and get a little blue tag. And I was building 2.5 a day. So there are some things that got me, but yes, it was growing with all the TV and the chopper builders coming up, and there's been great ones. And then there's ones you never heard of that looked up to you or me, and then you bring them along. El Pitts, great story. El Pitts out of Las Vegas, Discovery Channel. I was there going to Laughlin in 2002. That turned out kind of bad. Marrying the kid's mom when I got out of Laughlin because I had to get out of there. But El Pitts walks up to me in the Hard Rock. He was the bouncer there. And he even called his brother down. And lo and behold, I was just me, Mike at the time, and gave him all the info and any help you need. And that guy built a nice chopper and got a Discovery Biker Build-Off.
Yeah.
So those kind of stories those kind of encounters mean a lot to me. What I could do to help this young kid, which I was there as a young kid going, oh my God, I just built an empire, to help them with their steps of what not to do, through that.
As that kind of boom started to slow down a little bit, many builders from that era faced challenges, when the economy shifted, especially, and trends changed and so on and so forth. What were some of the hardest lessons you learned as a business owner during that time?
So when in 2009, and everybody will agree, there's no disagreeing. In 2009, nobody needed a house, their appliances in a house, a chopper. They were trying to survive. And my biggest thing, having 300 BMC dealers, or having 300 BMC of my bikes on dealer floors with so I had Deutsche, Transamerica, GMAC. I had all these lending institutions. So if I sent 10 choppers to Joe Blow's Choppers, I got paid right away.
Right.
Well, and they would pay a percentage, but the 19,995 chopper was selling as fast as it hit the floor. Arlen Ness, I brought 5 down. He called me and said, bring 5 more. And that was a one-day party. So what happened there was I signed a thing. If the dealer goes out of business, I buy the bikes back, right? Well, it's okay if 1 or 2.
Oh,
no. My bank account was really good. Anyway, when that hit, you got to be a man. You got to pay back. GMAC lawyers don't stop calling. Transamerica lawyers don't stop calling. Well, so anyway, had to collect hundreds of them. Had to chase down people. It was sad, and they're in their garage. I mean, you're going to steal my stuff I got to pay for. So
Gosh.
good friends, though, got them back for me. And that was the downfall of '09 wiped out people on not just
big time.
our industry that us three are in, the whole world. Like,
Right.
you know, walk away from your house. Well, I got lucky and sold all that stuff.
Good.
But yeah, that was 09 killed the chopper industry, or
100%.
the custom. I won't just always say choppers, custom motorcycle industry.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you this, man. Looking back now, obviously there are things you would have done a little bit differently, you know, in hindsight, of course. When it came to growing the company, what are the things that you think, knowing what you know now, that you maybe should have focused on at that time during that, like, you knew, I mean, eventually things always crash out, right? I mean, you reach the peak and then you kind of, it slows down and goes up and down like this. Knowing what you know now, for somebody maybe starting a business or in their business now, what kind of things should you have looked out for to prepare yourself for maybe something like this happening?
Well, I don't think it's ever going to happen again, because there's nobody going public anymore with motorcycles. That was a joke. That was going public with the motorcycle company meant the motorcycle company's going away. Somebody's going to scam whatever's in New York and take their money and be gone. So
Right.
I would say stick to what you love. You know, when I was when I was a kid building these bikes, I lost my passion and stuff because now this company's building a bunch of motorcycles.
Yeah.
You know? So I would say to the young builders, if there are some going to be coming up, just stay to what you do. Don't try to let money lead you away, and 5 million can lead you pretty
Sure.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a 28-year-old
That'll
at the
do it.
time. Other things I would probably not build 7 or 8 models of BMCs. I should have stuck with the top 3. Like I said, 400 in 2004. I think 400 hooligans went out the door in black. 1995,
Unbelievable.
and I was making 10%. You know, Ford makes 2%, but it's huge. Porsche makes 10%. So I looked at
You were the first, right? You were the first to do choppers under 20 grand. Everybody else was way higher.
Yeah, but with the right components, no zip tie.
Correct.
I hate
It
zip
wasn't
ties.
shit.
I hate if you got to
Yeah.
put a zip tie on a bike, something's wrong.
Right.
Meaning you're not routing it the right way. Thank you, though. You noticed when the builds, you know, had the right brakes. You know, I went to Italy, and that was a tough thing. I would have stuck with PM or something, but the OMP brakes, you know, they had a Formula One team, so that was a good Italian thing. Except I had to call them from the strip joint at midnight, because then to wire my money, because they were just giving up. So I had to stay at the strip joint till 1 a.m, which was fine.
Yeah.
Then
Well, it's business. You gotta take care of business.
at 8:30 thinking I'm an old man.
Gosh. Yeah,
But,
Mike, here's a good question
so-
for you, man. What was it about Big Mike's choppers? What was it about your builds? Obviously, the bold designs, the attention to detail, but what do you feel like separated Big Mike builds from the rest of the world at the time?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, going in-house manufacturing, because Daytech, Phil Day, great friend of mine, started me out with the Pro Street when Pro Streets were hot in the late 90s, and then they stayed okay. But I would say a BMC being built in-house with the right frame, the right axle adjusters, everything clear, the right neck angle, everything working good, the forward controls, it really helped me get a build of material, a bomb. I didn't know what a bomb was. It's a build of material. To really focus on, okay, that bike's going to cost me 13.8. I got to make 10%, and the dealer needs to make money.
Right.
So I would say you know, people use this cookie cutter thing after my era. Well, I would say as a cocky thing, I made more by 10 o'clock than you made all year. And I wouldn't do it today, but you know, who you calling me a cookie cutter? I'm godfathered in this thing. You guys are already gone. And a mail order chopper means I just brought back a chopper that had a 17-digit VIN that was licensed, insured in the Nata Kelly Blue books. I was a Harley. I mean, There's no difference between
Absolutely.
Harley and me. They just had what? Anyway, I was a bike manufacturer. So I took it from
That's right.
go to your CHP and get a blue stamp and they drill your frame crooked and put your stamp on and scratch your frame to a real, I helped pretty big people get there that are still in my life today, get their MSOs, having a manufactured bike with a VIN number. So I took it to that extreme from, okay, we're in the garage, we're going to drink some beers back in the day and build this chopper
Right.
and ride it to,
Make it
you know,
a
I
more
built
accessible
18,000
across.
choppers. I built 18,000.
God.
That's unbelievable. 18,000.
Yep. With
Wow.
18,000 Corbin seats on them.
God.
So that's
sick.
loyalty.
We're gonna get into
I
we're
stay
gonna
loyal.
get into Corbin a little bit in
We
a little
will.
bit, but
we're only on 09 or something. We're screwed.
all right. we're rolling through, man. Let me ask you this: back in the early 2000s, builders built their reputations obviously through magazines, as you talked about, shows, as you were a part of, websites. Today, everything runs through YouTube and social media.
Yeah.
How do you see being a guy, a veteran in this industry? How do you see the industry changing, and what's it like for you personally adapting to this new world?
Well, I got to hire a guy at $50 an hour because I don't understand any of. I didn't even know what AI stood for. But you know, today's you got to educate. It's crazy because Google and Facebook and Instagram, you run your ads. Do they really care about you? Are you giving? I
No.
never heard of 5X or 10X on ads. So today, back in the day, the chopper, no problem. Sell them all. Sell as many as I can build. Today, you have to educate them because they might know who I am or might know who other builders are, but they're so young, they don't know, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so today in this market, I have to constantly stay on advertising, making sure it's in people's face constantly and educating them. I just do this.
Top of mind.
It's a stupid little thing, but I do a question and answer. I get 200 emails a day, and they're just, is it made in the USA? Seat buying mistakes. So I don't know if you've seen it, but I just sit here at this table and go through, and that's a big thing. Why does it make it the Rolls Royce of seats versus plastic seats?
Right.
Like saying plastic seats. Because we are the Rolls Royce of seats. Mike Corbin, 55 years. I was a kid. He's my mentor, my number one mentor, and we'll get into that. But yeah, just stuff like that. I think.
It's a big change.
If
It's a
the
big
hook
change.
comes in with a big worm on it, it's always there's another side to it.
Absolutely.
Are you still sending your bikes to shows and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah.
are you still doing like bringing shit to like Sturgis and Bike
I
Week?
can make more money sitting here, and I hate to say it. Yes, I need to go to shows. I'm going to Codlin's grand opening in Texas here in a week.
Okay,
But
yeah, well, we just had Holger on the show.
yeah, I'll be with him. Yes.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Great guy. Carry all his product. He's been a great friend of mine for 30 years too. It's crazy, 30-year friendships in the motorcycle.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's what this industry does, bro.
Yeah.
It's a very small community, but once you're in and they know you're not a jerk off.
Yeah.
I mean, you stay in that circle.
Right.
I mean, you can always count on everybody from there.
Oh yeah, definitely. So what were we talking about? I'm sorry.
So you go.
Oh, just
covered it.
go ahead.
You covered it. So we want to fast forward a little bit now. You mentioned.
Can I go one? Can I say one more thing?
No, sorry.
Of course. You can say a million.
And this is a compliment. 1994, a U-Haul van pulls up. Great guys. They did a great job called Titan Motorcycles.
Yeah, I remember Titan. Sold a couple of
1994, they came to my little shop, and this is great, and said, "Hey, we built this Gecko and this Phoenix. Guess what? I was doing it. I already had Sirianni inverted front ends, and so it was a compliment though. They let me ride the bike, but they looked in my shop and said, it was nice meeting you. But Patrick and Frank, we became good friends through the years in the industry. And
unfortunately, Titan had serious electrical issues always.
No, I know. Until we built our own electrical box and figured it out, we all had problems. But anyway, I just wanted to add that because I think that's important because that is a company that also started with Big Dog, Iron Horse, myself. We were all on the dealership floors, whether it was Harley or independent.
That's
dealer.
right.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay.
Okay. Now we can move.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. Thanks for sharing. So we wanted to get into the design studio. You've mentioned you're talking about the BMC design studio and exploring things like YouTube and podcasting and different content mediums. What inspired you to start telling your story in that way and exploring those options?
Well, like I said, the emails kept coming in, and I'm a phone person. I'm not good. If you email me, give me your number because I'm going to call you. So I just thought I'd sit down and
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I at 60 years old, I had to go learn how to do this with you guys today. Turn this thing on. Hey, there's a camera in here. I didn't know that. But so I just started saying, I'm going to sit down and get back to Big Mike and reach people. Because back to the show thing, no, I don't need to go to a show. Yes, it's good to see me out there. Yes, when Holger gives me a compliment at Laguna Seca, hey, Mike, you came into my booth and people started coming over. That's a great compliment. And Holger has great product and I carry all of it. But
tell us about the what, like what you're talking about this design studio. Tell us about the what. What is it that you're up to right now?
Well, people are pushing me this way. I don't know if I'm good at it. I don't know how to hook up microphones, but talk to people. I have a lot of guests. I mean, I have Robert Patrick, Jim McMahon from the Bears, Marty McSorley, hockey. And I didn't know that you could talk to people like this. So maybe I join your podcast and I bring.
It'd be awesome.
You know what I mean? Maybe I come in once a week and we can just talk motorcycles. We don't have to talk BMC. Let's just talk the life of motorcycles, but if you guys don't mind, but I got a cool room.
That would be so much fun.
TV right here. You can't see it. That's going to go there.
Yeah.
And people are pushing me to get back to, so shows. Yes, people see me. People get to talk to me. I love talking to where I need 5 waters because I can't talk anymore. But and sharing my history, and because now you said it in the beginning, OG is true.
It is. You're an OG.
There's no taking back 31 years. I mean, you're either gonna listen to me or tell me you don't know what you're talking about, Mike. And
right.
Most 99%, I know what I'm talking about in the motorcycle industry.
You said that Mike Corbin's been a humongous mentor in your life. You've known him for over 50 years. Tell us about BMC Seats, your connection with Corbin.
Yeah.
How did all this came about? Take us, the listeners, into
that ride?
I want to know the relationship and then how everything transpired.
Okay, here we go.
Because I think Mike Corbin's is known in the industry.
Legend.
Legend.
So 94, I mean, we're not even to 26 yet. 94, young bike builder.
Yeah, we're in 26.
No, I haven't got up to that yet. We got a long time to go.
Yeah, we got to go
on our podcast. Young bike builder, bring the bikes down, bring 1 or 2 at a time. He was in Castroville at the time, and Sandy would say, who's still there with him, Mike's great with his employees. Hey, that kid's out front waiting on the tailgate. So I'd have to build one-off seats. There was no seats for these Daytech frames. Mm-hmm. We had to build one off. So Sandy would say again, hey, that kid's out there. He has 6 of them now. So 2 to 6 bikes. Hey, that kid's out there. So we just became so close. And as a kid, I got to drive his exotic cars to lunch. And we always had lunch together. And that started the relationship of, I'm going to make you molds for your seats because you're getting too big.
Right.
But we've had so many good times together. He's my mentor. There's mentors of mine, but he is it. But we have
why?
Why? All the knowledge he gave me, and from making mistakes as a young kid, not to make them anymore, and to, if you're going to do $1 million in business, which well over that, you're going to spend $100,000 in lawyers. And he was right, because you have all this coverage on your bike, but the wife didn't tell the husband to get the bike. Well, guess what? Lemonlawyer.com. And you just got to, I was sending $5,000 all the time. So he taught me, I was sending $5,000 to people I don't even know, lawyers in Michigan and here, but I win. But is the $5,000 a win? No, it's $5,000 that you don't get to do something fun.
Yeah.
So he taught me a lot of that, taught me about why lawyers I didn't know a lawyer. What lawyer? I need a criminal lawyer till I got in a fight downtown.
Right.
Yeah. So he really, we're together today still. He's still we clubhouse. It's called clubhousing. Let's go walk the factory. And I still do it 30 plus years later with
That's great.
How did BMC join forces? What was the idea behind this?
Well, the idea was when I did build the rigid choppers, I needed a seat. I couldn't keep going down there. One-off seats with 8 bikes, I'd have to leave and come back the next day. It's a lot of work.
Right.
Because we are a fiberglass based pan, and a custom frame has to be rolled out because there is no, the mold is where it all starts with Corbin. It's a real mold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, let's just make you a pan. You're going to stick with this frame? Yeah. So he made me my own plug seat with BMC Corbin. And it was funny because we joke about it. He goes, why is the BMC bigger than the Corbin? I said, I don't know. You're the one that put it on the seat. Because he always said, it's funny. Show my logo more. I said, I do. That's all I do is show you. But so that just developed. And then he goes, I'm going to make you a mold pretty soon. 5 orders are easy now. Well, I could order 5 orders of seats and go get them. I don't need a bike there.
Right.
Then next thing I know, so up to 60 bikes a month, 60 seats were coming in at a time, all Corbin for the rigid chopper. Solo seat, nice one. I wasn't into the spring stuff. The spring seat wasn't my thing. I wanted to be in the chopper low, sitting there, when you're riding, you're in the bike. So yeah. And then it just kept going and going. And we've done so much together. And I got to travel with a legend 50 plus years in the industry to kind of show me which way I'm going to go. And I made mistakes along the way. He told me, check my wallet, make sure my money's all in line. They have to be in line. And he'll quiz me today on that. He even likes me to iron it sometimes. I said, well, there's not that much now to iron back in the day. But that's what he just taught me. He said to me, if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right. Wise words.
That's the truth.
Here I am at 60 years old. Pretty good still. So
when'd you turn 60?
September I do. I'm just pushing it. I'm
59.
I'm pushing it. I'm tired of
it. Don't get ahead, man. You're still,
I know,
you're still in your 50s,
but it feels
man.
good to but anyway, yes, he is a big part of my life today. That's still cool. Every day. Yeah. Falling tall. We just developed the new ST lowers that came out phenomenal.
Nice.
For those.
So on the note of just developing the ST lowers, take us in the last 10 years. What's been going on with BMC up until present day?
Okay. Oh, you're jumping. You're getting way ahead now. You want to get this done. Okay, here we go.
No, it's not. It's not that we want to get this done. It's just that statistics show, which I hate, that people stop listening after an hour worth of content. So
10 years.
We want to be able to get as much as we can.
Yeah, boil down 10 years into about 30 seconds, Mike. Go.
Ready? 10 years.
Just kick your ass. Don't worry about it, man. Do what you got.
I was able to. And that Corbin taught me to deal with the industry in the winters and stuff. So the industry today versus it was easy to sell anything. So I went into parts from choppers. Nobody needs Harley builds a good bike now. So I went into the parts industry. I'm thinking, man, Arlen, he's parts. His legendary came from his bikes that he built with his parts on it. So I went into that. And Corbin stepped up again, said, let's make the FXRP fairing for the Dyna, FXR Dyna, and the new lowrider style bikes. The lowrider S, not the ST. It has its own fairing. So we developed that. Let's develop lowers. Let's develop pods. Because my passion, choppers and FXRs, I still have a bunch of them. And that was my gig. I got a Dyna finally, but it's fun too. But FXRs, choppers. So we just started developing parts, and he's still today letting me bring stuff to the table and say, hey, can you look into the future of what? So I brought the Harley ST. Okay, fairings. It has the fairing. It's a great bike. They did a lot of good stuff on it. Let's build lowers. And I built the lowers, and you don't have to take off your turn signals. They go on in about 20 minutes. But we made them the right style and the right look. Because I built thousands of lowers out of fiberglass, and that old look has gone away. You need to be more aerodynamic, like a Testarossa back in the day had intake ducts and stuff. But so
you see your product everywhere, man. I see it everywhere. Yeah. It's on all the Instagram stuff.
Yeah,
all the coolest bikes all have it, man. You got to be proud, bro. I mean, think about that, right?
We're still here.
We'll get back into it, but where a lot of guys and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but a lot of guys faded, right? The chopper craze crashed.
Yeah, it's sad. I've seen them all go away.
It's sad and it
Much.
hurts, and a lot of guys kind of faded, man. But you stood still innovative. You were always trying to find the next cool thing. I mean, that's what I love about you and your background and
Right.
who you are, man.
I'm gonna try and
You
find it
never stop
again.
dreaming and you never stop creating.
I get up at 4:30 and I'm starting to think what's next, because with Mike's capability in that factory is incredible, right?
Yeah.
And the things that we can make together, and he's letting me, those molds are $15,000 for lower STs. But once you have the mold, then we amortize it over. I like that word. I'm not good at these words, but he taught them to me.
Look at that, man. We're bringing it out, man.
So, people think, oh, you make it. No, that fairing mold was probably 20 grand, and I have 2 of them that he built me out of our friendship.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I pay a certain price, and,
Yeah.
and then I resell it for this price. But
Of course.
so I have mold making capability from robots to
Cool.
plastic vacuum formed stuff. So I can the end's the limit for me. He wants me to keep going. And he pays me royalties, which is great. That's a weird
That's
thing.
great.
Nice.
You
Heck
know?
yeah.
What are you working on? What kind of things?
I just finished the lowers. I don't know if I sent you that picture, but I was happy with those.
Yeah,
Because I'm
I'd love
more,
to send that, and we'll post it up.
I'm more
there.
into aesthetics now instead of the bulky bubble stuff that used to be.
Yep.
I mean, those fiberglass lowers never fit a bike. You had to do so much work to get it to fit the fairing.
lot. Yeah.
So Vince, the model makers there at Corbin, they can build a car, so they're great, And I've had them on my side for 30 plus years, which you can't complain,
Yeah.
And Mike just gives me so much freedom and to run around there. I can do whatever I want, other than don't steal anything, he says. But
Nah, man.
yeah.
Man, I want to see your shop so badly.
Oh, you got to come out. It's crazy. There's robots cutting stuff.
Hey, do you go down to the Born Free show?
I did. Corbin and I went together with the setup, but
Okay.
back to you
guys-
asked me about shows. Yes, I do need to get back out there. I am going to Holger's thing, and then I'm going to start from there. But I
got to tell you, man, if you guys feed that FXR crowd, us being from Florida, it's a little bit of a different bike scene. We've talked about this on the podcast prior, but Ben and I flew out to 16, which was last June. It was the first time we had gone out to check it out. I've never seen so many Dynas and lowriders and FXRs in my life that like the California scene. I mean, I was blown away.
Yeah.
We were just like stoked to see what a youth movement the California bike scene really is,
yeah,
man.
'cause
It's insane.
when I go to Florida, it's baggers. It was baggers in Daytona.
It's
all the time,
baggers.
yeah.
It's baggers. So older riders.
And they're riding, so you want a bagger. I mean,
Right.
I've ridden my chopper to Sturgis many times. I won't do it anymore, but it's good to see that. It's good that these kids can wheelie a bike just like they're dirt bike riders. They came off a dirt bike, got on an FXR. It's
That's
the same
right.
thing,
That's right.
And that's where the wall came in. Is I usually do performance and back support because you don't want to say too much. You don't know people standing on their seats.
Yeah.
What's going to really happen. So, but these kids take my wall. I walled it up. They have back support. They can sit there straight up 12 o'clock, maybe past 12 o'clock, and
Crazy.
sit there in my seat and not slide off. So
No, that seat is insane.
some of those kids
Insane.
I want to contribute the success to the wall to. I'm not going to name them all because there's too many I sponsored, but they helped the wall sell a lot. And then the copycatters or imitators came along after and watched my design, but they can't get it. In a
You guys were
plastic
the
can, you can't
originators.
get in a fiberglass molded pan to the bike at a plastic pan. You can't get what we get.
Mhm.
Can't do it. I don't
Mike,
care what you do.
after everything you've experienced in the motorcycle world, what still excites you today?
Today, well, being innovative, that's a good word. Being able to do that. But you know what excites me? Firing everybody. And I take the phone call. Call me. Call me. And I got so many
Connection.
on this phone right here thanking me. Thank you, Mike. Wow, I called you on Sunday at 12 and you answered. Yeah, I'm going to answer if I'm not doing anything. But I was never involved. I never talked to people, customer, like dealerships. Yeah, because I had great ones.
Right.
But I would never get the end result. So I'm really enjoying doing what I say I'm doing, which I've always done. Get such a kick out of giving them their tracking number, their UPS tracking number. Because guess what? I did my job, and a tracking number doesn't lie. And then in this new industry, I found out there's a lot of shady stuff going on in that. You can send a tracking number. That doesn't mean they went down there and put it in the mail.
Right.
So it's a lot
I get excited about that.
I got taken.
Get excited about, I get a lot of BMC Chopper. Man, I should start up just answering people's questions of what we ran back in the day. I get so many calls, and I help them all. I do my best because it's been gone for a while. The motorcycle.
Are you still selling parts for the choppers? For your old choppers?
That whole thing died. It's kind of coming back. People want me to build a skinny. Now it's a skinny chopper.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it streamlined, nothing on it.
Streamlined, short, stubby, so he handles.
Yeah. But it's manufacturing. I'm really enjoying the parts industry. I get to kind of
stay in the parts.
What I want. But anyway, back to excitement.
Yeah.
My kids understand. My daughter wants to ride so bad, and I'm just trying to be against it. But how do you be against it, you know?
Right.
So she's my number one riding partner, my daughter, and just loves the twisties and the redwoods.
What is she riding? What is she riding?
No, I said, go get your permit and we'll talk about it. I think,
okay.
I think I'm going to have Ray Sotelo at Indian, get her that little Honda. It's pretty cool. It's a cool looking little Honda to start out with, you know. She's all, let me ride your Dyna
great little
right now.
bikes.
And I'm like, no, you can't even hold it up. But, you know, her being, my boy is, I love Rocco to death. Unbelievable martial arts. Loves exotic cars, though. Not really what I like, but he enjoys it. But how about having a daughter that's into what you do 150%?
That's cool.
Like, Dad, let's go. Dad, pick me up.
That's killer.
When can we go for a motorcycle ride? But Rocco's at the age where you can't have him on the back. But as a young kid, no problem. I would have him on my chopper with the rope around me, and he'd be asleep back there against the system car on a rigid. But I did the rope so he wouldn't fall off.
Right.
Yeah, so it's been great, and that's what people want me. They want me to have my kids on something talking about Rocco taking bolts out of the bolt bin and putting them on the floor and sweeping them up at 3 years old. And you know that what they grew up in and remember, you know.
Yeah,
but
for sure,
legacy.
Yeah. So
speaking of the
giving people.
Oh, go ahead.
I hate to bore you, but giving people tracking numbers and talking to the end customer is so fun for me. I didn't do that. I was Big Mike. I didn't have time for you. I love having time for the people that know me and don't know me. But once they read a Google thing and go, oh my God, we didn't know. And that's the new learning curve, educating the people today that ride. So, And then I got you guys, awesome, you old guys like you that love me. And wow, I watched you for years. And that's
he's still a young pup. He's only 40.
No, he's young. Yeah.
This old geezer watched.
You know,
I was old enough to watch it.
I don't take any compliment as, yeah, I did that. I love it. Like, you're really going to remember. Rocco said, Dad, you're on TV. And I said, what? He goes, my friend saw you on TV. So that discovery runs on something still. Somewhere.
Yeah. It's still out there, man.
I have no idea, but Rocco went to school. Dad, my friends watched you last night. I was like,
that's cool, man.
That's killer, man.
Those kind of things are so cool because they were such little kids. They were babies.
Yep.
In the boom.
This is good. This is a good segue to the last question. I wanted to ask, what type of advice, you've been in this industry for over 3 decades. Yeah. What type of advice would you offer a youngin working in their garage, building bikes with the hope of one day maybe opening up their own shop or getting their bike on the cover somewhere? Speaking from the old school, the OG mentality,
right?
What would you tell them? Because you know what? Regardless of social media, everything always goes back to the basics, right? To do shit right, do it the right way. So what's your advice for somebody who's been in their shoes?
Yeah, and I get a lot of calls from them. I would say just stick to your ideas. Don't let somebody come in from the side and say you need this, this, and this. Just stick to the build you want, whether it's a FXR, a new Harley, old Shovelhead, or whatever. Just stick to what you believe in. I think if I would have done that and not gone with the big sponsorships, which it's tough because it's not happening today like I had it. I was fortunate.
No,
These
no.
kids aren't going to get somebody that drops off 50 G's
Mhm.
of parts
No.
and say get to town.
That was the first rise of this industry. Was you that timing between your skill levels and the shit that you were great at,
Yeah.
and the time in history for the motorcycle world collided at the same time. So that stuff went boom.
Yeah.
And you were on the forefront for that.
Yeah. Thank you. I rode the wave 3 times.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
This is my 3rd time. But stick to, you know, I really looked at that 1990 under 20 grand chopper as aesthetically, it's as clean as the $40,000 competitor that's going out. You know, he might have a couple more billet parts, but fit and finish was huge. If I saw a zip tie on one of my BMCs, I'm like, what did we do wrong?
Yeah.
Why do we
Right.
have a zip tie? There's no reason. We have machines that make billet clamps, holders, There's no reason. Anyway, I would stay to what you believe in. Do what you like to do. Don't listen to your buddy, because younger generation, you might listen to a guy. But I always stuck to, no, I'm going to do a sissy bar, and I'm going to do fork boots on every chopper because I like the rubber fork boots. It's the 60s Frisco style looking chopper. Now, if you don't want fork boots, fine. I don't have to put them on, but there was a certain ones that the hooligan got them. I don't care. Cut them off. It's easy to cut them off.
Mhm.
But I just stuck to my roots and didn't change those choppers, and everybody saw, and manufactured a bike that was quality built for the right price that you can get a payment on.
Mhm.
So sorry about the young guys today. Build your bikes, build your new Dynas, build your Harleys, but still be in love with the chopper era, because it's different for you than I had. There was people throwing money left and right. And what do you know,
Yeah, 100%.
it's just today, just build your bike and enjoy it and have fun. And
That's right.
you know, you're going to get these people on the internet like to say stuff that, please don't listen to it. I'll never answer anybody. I don't answer them, but thank God.
You're talking about the armchair quarterback.
Yeah. Keyboard tough guys that, you know, you're going to say it when I'm standing there, but
Right.
don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. If you want a sissy bar and upswept pipes and raked out front end, just do it. Don't go after what somebody's doing because it's cool. Do your own thing.
Great advice, man.
Yeah.
Well, where can people follow you? Where are you active on social media?
Okay, active on social media. BMCnextlevel.com is going to be the website. BMC
we're gonna link all
Motorcycle
this to the show
Company.
notes.
Yeah, BMC Motorcycle Company, everything else. Instagram, Facebook, business page, TikTok. That TikTok thing's funny. I kind of, but yeah, those things.
Are you
My phone number.
dancing?
You'll have.
Are
my,
you dancing?
Oh, go ahead.
I said, are you dancing with chaps on TikTok or what?
A lot of women hit me up, which is kind of cool.
That's a whole different show. That's a whole different
yeah.
show we will have to do. That's so funny,
But
man.
yeah, on the
That's
website,
awesome.
if you have any questions, answers, colors, you know, people get confused and build a black seat. Yeah, that looks good, but why? Call me, please. It's on my website.
That's cool.
Give me text me right here. My phone is with me all the time. And I will call you and we'll design a seat. And when that phone goes cha-ching, you're my family member. Cha-ching means you bought the phone and we went through you bought the seat and we went through the complete bike, and we didn't just give you a seat because you were confused or any part. We've designed it together. Another exciting thing for me, designing it with the end user is so fun. And I didn't get to do any of them. Hey, I built this, you buy it or not. Now I get to.
Mike, let me ask you a question.
Time.
Let me ask you a question. This is for me, myself, personally. I got one of the bikes I have, which one of my favorites is my 07 CVO Springer, right?
Yeah.
And it's got the 200 tire in the back.
What color
Like
is that
they
one?
started coming out.
What color?
It's the blue. It's the dark blue one.
Yeah.
Yep. I wanted to get a 2-up seat, right? But I don't see any of that stuff out there on the market for you make it.
Yeah, so I'll take an 07 seat and build you a Widowmaker or a wall. I'm getting tons of Victory motorcycles. Nobody can get anything for Victory. I'll take an existing Corbin seat that Mike made, and I'll make it a BMC Corbin and build them a Waller Widowmaker
Killer.
and sell it. The Victory 8-ball, high ball, all those bikes are still around and they're still lasting.
Of course.
They last forever. But
those Victory bikes were good running
when we
bikes.
touch basis again, or just call me whenever, we can design something for you.
Okay.
In the family deal. Don't tell anybody about the family deal.
All right, the family
But
deal.
I hope, there's so much more to talk about, but I understand listeners.
We're gonna have you back on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you back on, and we're gonna do another show. 100%. We can't get everything in that we want. You know what I'm saying?
Did we do okay as far as
I think we kicked ass, man. I think we did
one
good.
of your better shows.
And I'm gonna tell you guys for the younger listeners who may not know Mike, take a look, go into the archives. You're gonna see a pioneer in this industry. This guy was on the forefront when this whole thing started to really climb, and that's how I got a chance to get to know who he was. I was still living in Boston at the time, and I just remember seeing him and just going like, wow, this guy is unbelievable, man. The
thank
stuff that
you.
he's coming up with.
The wave was incredible.
And you're still creating, man, bro.
They're still doing it. I got to get up and go like
three
this.
and a half decades.
Take my brain and go, we need lowers for the ST because the bike is incomplete without the lowers.
Right.
But
But that's what
the
makes you awesome, man.
I love talking to them. I love when they figure out who they're talking to. Not an ego thing. They'd go, oh my God, I Googled BMC Choppers and they weren't even alive. These young builders, and I think they do a great job and keep it going. There's just more tension between them these days because of social media. You could talk back and forth to each other and it's not always the best. So that's another thing.
Hey, one last question. I'm curious. What's in your garage? What do you got for bikes?
Oh, which garage? Okay. So I got Dyna, my two FXRs, my two Pan.
What year's your Dyna?
That's the first suspension bike I ever owned in 2000. It's a 2009. First bike I've ever had.
2009.
Rear shocks. I rode rigid up till then. And I always rode jockey shift.
Jockey shift. Okay, nice.
My good friend and I, Mike, we just finished up our two Shovelheads. And as an getting older, we're going to trailer them to wine countries and stuff and do the old man thing.
Right out
and
there.
Keep them, unload them. I hate to say that. Unload them and ride the redwoods or wine or down PCH Highway 1.
Yeah.
Killer.
Look, stay at a nice hotel. I used to sleep by my shovel in a tent that leans off of your bike and huddled up. But
listen, you young bucks, you have to understand your back can take that rigid hit right now, but you start getting into your 40s and your 50s and your mid 50s, man, those rigid shots when you hit potholes or anything, man, they hurt and they leave with you when you park that thing. So
when I get up out
us old guys, we need the comfort.
That's why we ran our air pressure at 11 pounds, but the tire was done by the time we got to Sturgis.
Gone.
So that's it. That's great. It's a big journey. There's a lot more that we can go over later date, but I hope this worked. Getting Big Mike.
This was great, Mara.
I was kind of a ghost for a while, hidden. But then when I did this social media thing and found out hashtag makes you money, I was like, wow. Go to a show for 20 grand and have people kick tires or watch my friends and my phone go cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's kind of cool, And there'll be a day to retire, kids, out there. Who knows when?
I don't see it. You're too creative to retire.
You want to?
The industry needs you.
It keeps me in it. I tried to get out. You can't quit. They're saying no, don't.
Right.
Sounds like you got people pushing you to do some cool stuff too.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff coming up. We can go, and I'm available anytime now that I know how to get on this podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
And if I could be a part of the team on a monthly thing, maybe questions and it doesn't have to be BMC, but just what's going on.
No, that's we'll talk about that once we're done. Wrap it up here. Mike, from the bottom of our hearts, brother.
Yes.
Awesome, man. Love you, man.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
Yeah,
I really
you're one of
appreciate it.
you're one of the greats. You're one of the greats, man.
There's still a
It's great
lot of
to have
stuff.
you on
Now
the
my
show.
mind's really going. We probably wouldn't have enough time in the day. It would take probably to midnight to do the whole story. But I think I'm going to look into a book. I think I'm going to do a book of a guy. I'm not going to write the book. I want somebody to do it. But I think that's my next journey in life, is to do a tell-all industry chopper book from start.
That would be cool, man. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
All right. Be good. Have a great rest of your week.
You too.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for everything.
Pleasure.
Right
Pleasure
on.
for us,
Right on, brother.
You don't even understand
Both
it.
of you. Yes, it was great.
Heck yeah.
Thank
Part
you.
2 coming soon. See you, man.
See ya.
Awesome.